Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is February 28th, 2025, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Mill Creek. We are at 1165 East Hillview Drive. We have the camera pushed out only 71 feet. I'm accessing it from the roof stack, and so that's going to add 20 feet or so just on its own. But the other issue is I'm going through a lot of rough pipe, and I've had to go through a couple pretty tight turns, and that makes it harder to push the camera all the way out. And so we're not yet to the city connection, but I'm going to pull it back and we're going to record it and see as much as we can. I'm going to give that tub just a... Oh, I think somebody just flushed the toilet actually. So a little bit of running water is okay, but what you don't want to see is standing water, where it's not draining on its own. Trying to see it's possible. I mean, 58 feet out. I don't think we're far enough, especially with where this house sits in relation to the road. I don't think we're far enough to be hitting the city connection, but it does look like you have another line tied in here. So this could be a part under the house that just has a different part of the house draining into that area. A little bit of an offset right there where the pipe has slipped a little bit and creates a lip. That's a spot where waste could potentially get stuck and create a blockage. That looks like clay pipe from what I can tell so far. A little bit of an offset there as well. So far it looks like you have good grade. I'm not seeing any standing water that would indicate that you have improper grade. Right now we're transitioning to cast iron. So usually this is right where it goes under the foundation. And so I don't think that at 56 feet or whatever we were at was hitting the street. I think that was just another part of your line tied in. Cast iron gets real rough and rusty. Here I would definitely recommend having this line cleaned. I'd recommend having it coated where they clean off all that rust and scale, basically with a carbide chain. And that would make it nice and smooth again. It makes it easier to evaluate. You want to have it looked at again once you have that cleaned, but also it looks like we're going underwater, which means that you have bad grade. The only way to fix bad grade is to dig it up and re-slope it, and this is going to be under the house, and so that's a much more difficult area to access than, you know, even in the yard. We're coming back up the roof stack. You might have seen those couple turns. There's another one. That's part of what makes it so difficult to push the camera out. I would recommend when you have the line cleaned, have them evaluate it further. And then I would also recommend getting the insurance on the line. It looks like this is the original pipe, and there's all kinds of things that come along with that. So with clay, we already saw that you had several offsets, so the pipes have kind of slipped and created those lips where waste could get stuck. But when you have the line cleaned, I would see if they can open up another access point or try to get their camera out further so that you know what's going on further down the line as well. We were able to see a fair amount of the line, enough that I definitely think it's worth having cleaned, but not enough to see the entire line. Last thing, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'd recommend getting the insurance. That way, if and when you do have a bigger issue, they can help offset that cost. And you can get insurance through HomeServe. That's one of the more common ones in Salt Lake. I'm going to end this recording now.